Hi everybody, I'm Jack Jinseki, and joining me today is Nagi.
Hello, Konichi. Hello, fellow gamers. I am Nagi Noi, a pastel naga that is a little funny guy on the internet.
Nagi, what kind of content do you like to make?
Mm, I think it's pretty general. I was about to go try and be funny and be like, I don't know, you found me. What do you think? But I think it's pretty varied. The one thing I will say that I don't do is like FPS content. Like I
Mm.
suck at it. I may have spent a whole like 2 hours in aim labs. It didn't get any better, and so I gave up.
Yeah, I see.
So
Oh, sorry.
no. That's it. It was just like a
I see some of the people do the FPS stuff, and all I can think is I would never be that good. It doesn't matter how much I practice. I would never be that good at it.
yeah. No, it's like this thing where like you can enhance and like polish your gamer sense in some way,
Mm.
map awareness, all that type of stuff, strategies and everything, but I have no mechanical skills
So
when it
so
comes to FPS.
which is your game then?
The brain dead shit. Like like farming sims I like to play a lot, although I don't think it's very good like stream content, because of the usual type of energy that I put out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like pretty uh I've been called chaotic a few times, so I don't think I don't know how I can make like a farming sim that makes me calm chaotic. So I usually don't stream those, but I like playing other kind of games that don't really require me to aim all that much. So pretty much anything I can get my hands on.
Hmm, that's pretty cool. So, what made you want to be a VTuber?
Well, when I was a wee minor, way back when, I think it started with an interview because I wasn't really into watching content
Mm-hmm.
online. I was more just like consuming anime willy-nilly, and then slowly I got into like some of the YouTubers that made anime content,
Mm-hmm.
namingly the Anime Man, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was around 2015, 2016, he had an interview with Kizunai, and I was like, damn, that's pretty pog.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an anime girl, like I appreciate streaming and all that stuff because I also got into it because some of my friends were into streaming in 2015, 2017. Actually all the way back in like 2013 as well. So
Wow.
streaming was like not something that was unknown or alien to me. But then knowing that there were people with like reactive PNGs on Nico Nico, and then Kizna I came around
Mm-hmm.
on my timeline, on my algorithm around 2015, 16. I was like, damn, I want to be that. But I got school. So I was a good little Asian child. I studied. I waited till I got a big girl job, and now I'm here.
Oh man. So, do you have any lore for your character?
No.
No.
I might have answered that too quickly. Hold up. uh, I I think it had something to do with like my heritage. I definitely wanted it to be something around that. But then I realized after I graduated that like if I wait forever for all the assets to come together, like the lore video, the overlay commissions, model commissions, all that stuff, I was never gonna get started
Yeah.
knowing myself. So I honestly just picked a pay to use model
Mm-hmm.
that kind of fit me, and then I started streaming with it.
Ah.
But before that, I was a reactive egg PNG on my yeah. The color purple wasn't even in like my select my options. when it came to designing the character. But then the pay to use model that I was using was mainly purple. So I was like, okay, well, I want people to recognize me from that. I'm gonna have to stay purple. So I got the purple life.
I wonder, of all the people who make the the skins or the VTuber models that you can buy and just use, I wonder how many of them actually get used. Is it a lot of
Mm,
them?
I'd say so, especially like the ones that have like some type of customization.
Hmm.
Um, like I don't know if you saw it. There was like this one artist that had like an insane amount of customizations for one of their pay to use models.
Mm-hmm.
So like every single they had all the way up to like different types of bangs, different types of eyes, different like mouths and ears and all this stuff. It was pretty crazy. I do
Mm.
think that a lot of them get used, especially since with the VTuber slash streaming boom, a lot of people have been coming from VR chat and they're used to just like, you know, picking up models to use now and then.
Mm. So, what's your favorite accomplishment of your channel so far?
Mm. I think I'm too baby in terms of content creation to say that.
Well, I mean, it
Uh,
doesn't need to be a big one. It can just be something that like you're proud of. Maybe you made something that you really appreciated in the moment.
oh, in that case, I got nothing. No, I got nothing. I think I'm still marinating. I am in the process of simmering because I kind of raw dog streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I was like doing art on Picarto for like a year, and then I switched to Twitch because that's where all my friends were.
Yep.
And then in 2021, I debuted as a VTuber. I like stepped away from a egg reactive PNG and became an actual anime girl online.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally have been struggling a lot with what kind of content I want to make my main content.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, for accomplishments and stuff like that, I think that's gonna come after I figure out what I really like to do and how how I will I yeah, um, methods. I mean, I think that sense of accomplishment or even just proud of what I have achieved will come after this part of the journey is over and then I start a new chapter, I think. Mm-hmm.
So, in that case, in terms of finding what you want to do, what is it that you think you do that you do better than most people? Is there anything? Do you have any like talents or things that you appreciate that maybe the average person is kind of uninitiated with?
Um, I have been. I'm. I'm not too sure myself. I originally just started streaming because I wanted to have like good times with my friends saved somewhere.
Mm.
So I am not too sure myself. I'm just happy that people come by and enjoy my company and enjoy my
Nice.
chat company. I have been told that I'm pretty funny. I've been told I do I do make people go ha ha ha. Um, and I guess pretty varied, like my contents. Like
Mm.
I'm pretty flexible. You know, even though I'm not good at something, I don't think it'll hinder the vibes and of a collab or like what I'm doing. Um, yeah, I think
Mm.
I think it's flexibility and the funny haha.
Hmm. So, since you started streaming, and I mean like perhaps back when you were the PNG egg, uh, do you think that there's been any changes to like how you act during a stream?
Mm, yeah, definitely. I had a stick up my ass up in back in the day. I swear to God.
Hmm.
Also, I don't I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. I'm sorry.
Oh, go
I
for it.
should have I should have double checked with you. Oh my God, if I had like a beep button, I would be spamming that shit. Now that you said I can curse. But
No, no, none of this will make it to air. It's this interview is over. No,
oh no, but I didn't say any gamer words yet.
ah.
But what was the question?
Oh,
Sorry.
what do you feel has changed the most about you since you started streaming?
Oh yes, I was talking about the stick up my ass.
Yes.
I'm definitely less stiff than I was back then.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. I was also nervous all the time whenever I pressed the go live button. When I wasn't streaming with my friends, because I would usually, if I wasn't streaming games with my friends, I would be streaming art by myself, and I'd always be super super nervous, so my voice would shoot up like really fucking high, and then I get called a Lily Pichu clone, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I would never be as good as Lily Pichu. Like, I'm flattered and I'm annoyed because I can't believe you would put me in the same fucking league as Lily Pichu.
So, what are your goals for your channel?
Mm.
Do you have any aims? Do you have like
I do think just growing. I think I'm not the kind of content creator that's like, oh, I'm in it for the money, or like, oh, if I can make money off of it, that would be great. Like,
mm,
sure, there is some type of profit to be had, making content, being a VTuber, and all that stuff. But personally, I just want to make funny things, be a funny person,
mm,
and yeah, I think the goal for me is to not change.
mm,
Like, my content may change, but as long as I don't change, I think that's pretty good.
mm,
I think that's also very hard as like you go through the sphere, and meet so many people. It's basically impossible to not be influenced, because I mean everybody's trying to make it as an influencer, so they're
yeah.
definitely gonna try and influence you. But yeah, I guess to try and stay me.
You don't want to end up with the Mr. Beast thumbnails
No, please no. Oh my god.
with the
I
with the
can't take
weird uncanny valley face thing when you see it too close.
Yeah, I don't want to become a, what is it? Like, I'm not bashing on Monet, okay? But like I think it's really funny that like his critics, like, people, there's the expression of like being a Monet painting,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like it's pretty from far away, but when you get too close, that shit's hideous. Like, that is the last thing I want to be. I like, can you imagine? So you pop up on somebody's recommended, and it's like, oh my god, cute avatar, and then they tune into your stream for 2 seconds. They go, no, I am disgusted, and click away.
And then you have like all those weird jump cuts, and
Yeah.
your voice sounds really artificial.
It is. It does sound artificial when I'm nervous, like right now. But like, apart from that, it's a pretty natural. I
Yeah.
think. I'd like to think.
Mm-hmm. So, it's your ideal stream. Who are you inviting? And it can be anyone. It can be historical figures if you want.
My sister.
Nice.
I think we're. I think the funniest moments, some of the funniest moments of my life, were with my younger sister. So I'd invite her on stream, and not be scared of having to dox each other. Because I really want to do it someday. Have my sister on stream with me, and like she knows that I do this stuff. She knows I'm a little pathetic anime girl online, but I can't, like, I would call her by her real name. She would call me by my real name, and then my career is over.
Ah. Yeah, that can't happen.
No, I need that. I need the mask to stay on.
Uh, so, who's your favorite VTuber and why?
I'm not gonna lie. I saw this question in the list that you sent me, and I was
Yep.
like, oh my god, what's the funniest answer I can come up with while still being truthful? And then I my mind for a second just flashed to like meme VTubers, the ones that
Hmm.
were making the joke. like Celin's to not I mean Doki Bird. Fucking that out. No, but like the tomato model that
Mm-hmm.
she had before she like finalized her re-improved model.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, honestly, if I gotta say my favorite VTuber, I think it would be Kizuna Ai, like during like her OG, like really old era before she, went super corpo and all that stuff. I liked
Mm.
her content a lot back then. I would watch it while cramming for exams, and it made me feel better. I was like, all right, well, somebody's having it worse than me out there.
So, out of curiosity, what do you think about the corpo thing? What do you think changes in VTuber personalities when they do the corpo thing?
I think it's not them changing. It's just you see a more filtered version of them
Mm.
because they have no choice, right? There's like a bunch of liabilities
Yeah.
that they have to be wary of. They technically their personality essentially becomes like a product,
Yeah.
something that a company is selling, right?
Yeah. Huh.
So like it's kind of, and in a way it's like almost as bad as K-pop idols, if I'm being honest. Because K-pop idols, it's like you break children and then rebuild them to however you want them to be in order to sell a personality. But sometimes, and it has been shown that like those personalities that they are displaying are not real.
Yeah.
But in the sense of VTubing, especially some indie VTuber becoming corpo, it's like, well, what made the company hire you in the first place is your personality,
Mm-hmm.
and then they take that from you and they go, okay, well, you'd have to tweak this, tweak that, and then there you go, there's a new and improved you that we can sell. And then you're like, you gotta be okay. Just
Mm.
change everything as your company sees fit.
Mm.
I find that pretty sad. um I get why they do it, of
Yeah.
course, but I personally find that pretty sad. Sometimes I don't want to think about it too long. It
Oh,
pulls me into a void
then
I
then
don't want to
let's
exist in.
then let's ask another question. What advice would you give to someone who wants to be an entertainer?
Grab yourself by the balls, let go of shame, and fucking do it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not it. What's that one line from Life Weaver in Overwatch? It's not shameful if you're shameless or something. I am not cringe. I am free.
So, what was the first anime you ever watched, and what drew you to it?
Mm, I don't remember what was the first anime I watched. I think there was a lot at the time because there was like whatever my big brother was watching,
Well,
and then
if I may, then let me rephrase the question. Spiritually, what do you think of as your first anime?
I think Naruto would be the first one. Because Final Fantasy VII doesn't count as anime. That was a video game. Yeah, I think it would be Naruto because I. Oh, whoops! Sorry, my model tracking is a little bit silly because I didn't charge my phone today.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm at 10%. So if ever I like bug out, I'm really sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, I think it would be Naruto because I saw it on the TV in English, and then I read it. My big brother was walking around with the manga, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a book! I can read a book! I read a book I won't hate!" And so I read the book, and then after that came all the animes that were on Adult Swim way back when.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so like the good old Inuyasha, good old Gundam Seed,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Bleach as well was airing on Adult Swim, I believe.
You think that's bad? I watched the Adult Swim 5:30 showing when I was in middle school. That would have been Case Closed, also known as Detective Conan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because the only time that I could sit down and watch Adult Swim is at like 9:30 on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't have anything to do the next day. That's a lie. I had like extra tutoring on Saturdays, but like it was one of the nights where my parents would be like, "Yeah, whatever, you can stay up a little later."
Oh man, those were the days. Adult
Yeah.
Adult Swim with the weird adverts or the weird
Yeah.
what do they call them? I forget what the
The-
the cap things. I think.
yeah. There was also like the skits that they would have in the dead of night and stuff like that. I love those. They traumatized me to hell and back, but I love those.
Oh man, I remember watching. There was this one show on Adult Swim I watched back in the day. It was called Paranoia Agent. Have you ever seen that?
I, that rings a bell, but I don't remember it specifically.
It was this bizarre show, and the advertisements for Alone freaked the heck out of me, and then I tried watching it, and then it freaked the heck out of me more.
Wait a minute, I'm googling this bit. Yes, yes. Okay, I got it now. Yes. Okay,
That was
okay.
because I mean it has like all this weird imagery in it. There's a kid that goes around clubbing people with a metal bat, and
Hell yeah.
there's a woman with multiple personalities, and one of them is trying to kill the other, and whoa.
It's a good time. I
Yes.
mean, no, it's not for a child, but like it's a good time.
Oh, okay. If you could go to an anime convention tomorrow, whom would you cosplay as?
Is this also like a no limits question, or am I
Go
limited
for
to
it.
what I got in my closet?
Go for it. What is the dream cosplay?
Uh, See, I'm thinking like cons are usually in summer, so they are usually like you want to go for something that you can move in and something that you can't sweat in too much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I don't know actually, because I'm also thinking like, what do I got in my closet? I don't want to answer something I got in my closet. That would be boring as shit. I think I'd want like something really big and like ornate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something that requires 20 people to carry around.
Hmm.
Like a gigantic ornament, hair ornament. And then while you walk around, you need like people to carry it behind you, and then you gotta spend like 5 minutes putting it on your head for pictures. I think that'd be funny. I've always wondered what a convention experience is for those type of people,
Hmm.
because I've only ever gone in like either my normal attire or like really simple cosplay. Because I know there's like so many people at the convention in a city near me, so I have to take like really long public transit for it. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm gonna bring a cosplay over there, I need it to fit in a bag and not die on the way to the con.
So do you get funny looks on the public transportation?
Oh fuck yeah! It's even funnier when you come back, because there's in my city there are a few. Well, in that city, not my city. In that city, there are a few of like festivals that happen at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So usually at the same time as an anime con, you got like an EDM festival at the same time.
Hmm.
So you have all these weird bitches from the anime con going back home in public transit, and they're like decked out in full cosplay, full face, all that shit. And then you have the people that just spend time at an EDM festival drinking and doing drugs in the corner. And it's so funny when you mix them together in public transit.
Uh, so, shifting topics a little bit, what do you look for in a video game?
If you can pet the dog or not.
Enough said. I love how that's become like a weird like niche sticking point for video games.
I honestly appreciate it though. If you I think it goes to say as well. I think it depends on the game. A video game can still be very interesting even if you can't pet the dog. You hear it, I've said it. I said it. Don't come after me. I said it. Petting the dog is not all there is, but it's very important. But depending on how linear a game has to be, it's like how fun is a game even though it's like super linear and it has to like hold your hand, or how open is the game if they say it's an open world game, I think.
Yeah. And if the world is open, does it feel open or does it just feel like an empty space with random things stuck here and
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Like my computer's trash, but it can take it. Add a few more trees and rocks and grass. It's all right.
Mm. So, are there any video games you're looking forward to?
Okami. I love I love Okami. I think I woke up my neighbors if any of them were napping or sleeping during the Game Awards. And they announced the new Okami. I was so excited.
I'm not familiar. What is Okami?
Okami is I think it originally got released on eh, what was it? Was it Wii? I think it was on the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the sun goddess Amaterasu, who I think shows up as like a wolf, a white wolf in feudal Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and she has to purify the land of Japan. So you go around unlocking powers. It's a little bit of a platformer, but there is combat, and the whole game was made in I don't know if this is the right term, but it's like the traditional brushstroke
Mm-hmm.
type of art style. Like all the outlines are like that, and it's very very cute.
Huh.
It's very stylized. It's one of the few games in my life that I saw it and I was like, holy shit! I didn't know you could do that when it came to stylizing a game visually, like the UI, the characters, the models, and all.
I looked it up online and then I clicked a picture and then it popped in a video and I'm like, no, no videos. That's gonna show up in the interview. Oh no.
There you go. Now your audio's flagged. Ouch.
Everything's ruined again.
That's okay. It's the imperfections that make something pretty.
There you go. Your friends just dropped in to play video games. What are you playing?
Depends which friends. Um, some I think right now they're all on Helldivers and Marvel Rivals,
Mm-hmm.
so that would be the current choice of game.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I think there was an update. I can't do anything in that game. Which is very funny. We started this interview and then it was like I suck at FPS, and it's like, what games are you playing with your friends? I'm playing FPS with my friends. Uh, I can't do anything in Helldivers. All I can do is go around, avoid the machines and the buggies, and then reinforce at the speed of light. That's all I can do.
Hey, I mean, you don't need to be the hero. Do what you can. Play support.
Yeah, I have been hard stuck support in every single game I play. But you know what? That's okay because everybody's life is in your hands.
There you go.
Think about it. Your friends don't die unless you say so.
Okay. Now the random questions. Which do
Yes.
you prefer, Elvis or the Beatles?
Um, Personally, I like the Beatles more just because I listened more to their music growing up than Elvis. Uh, yep, yep. If I think I just have like a I like bands more than I like a singular artist, I think. That's why most of my favorite like music is like bands
Mm-hmm.
rather than like a singular self-produced person. Not to say that like they're not good or anything. It's just I've noticed a pattern.
Mm.
I've noticed a pattern in the things that I like.
So, You're on a boat with friends. What artist are you listening to? Or band in this case?
Mm, mm, I usually, if I'm in a group of people, I usually just give the aux to anybody else.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't really put anything on. I think Robert Port Rob. You know that guy. You know the guy that got his MV produced by Kiowani and everybody went crazy about it.
I hate to break this to you, but my knowledge of music basically ends after 1989.
No, that's so fair.
uh, so, what's a good movie to watch on a Sunday afternoon?
Any Ghibli movie, I would say.
Mm.
Mm-mm-mm. I I watched them. I don't know if this is TMI or not. You stop me if it is.
Go
I
for
watched
it.
them when I have a panic attack.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm hyperventilating in the corner, put on Howl's Moving Castle, and I'll be like, oh, I can breathe again.
Oh man, what do I listen? I'll listen to like Pink Floyd if I have a panic attack.
Mm,
It is just dark and dreary enough to kind of just draw out the draw out the emotions, I would say.
I get that. I get that.
But
No.
so Howl's Moving Castle, is that your favorite?
Actually, Nausicaa is my favorite because it was the very first Ghibli movie I ever saw.
I've actually never seen that one.
It's great. It's like Ghibli's one of Ghibli's first movies, and it's set in like a post-apocalyptic world.
Hmm.
And there are giant caterpillars in it, and I love them. If I had the money, bitch, I'd be getting that shit tattooed on my body. I love those giant caterpillars. They look so silly.
Speaking of post-apocalyptic Ghibli, did you ever watch Future Boy Conan?
I don't think so. No.
It's a TV series. He made like two TV series, and one of them stars like I think it's like a dog detective or something. I didn't see that one, but
A dog.
the other one was called Future Boy Conan, and it is awesome. It
I,
oh sorry.
I would look at it.
It is absolutely worth a watch, especially if you like Studio Ghibli.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen it. Well, I mean, I've seen it around, but I have not watched it. If that makes sense.
Okay. Would you ever talk to a stranger unprompted in a public
No.
setting?
Sorry. Oh, I answered that one too quickly. Hold up.
Fair enough.
I think the real answer is if I am intoxicated enough, yes.
I
'Cause
feel
then
like there's a
it's
story there.
well, yeah, because then it's like, well, liquid liquor courage, I think it's called. You got
Hmm.
that in you. You get enough alcohol in me, I'll do pretty much anything. Which is bad because I'm an alcoholic.
Oh dear.
It's don't worry. It's not actually that bad. I just like to exaggerate.
I I kind of figured. Um, did you ever cheat on a test when you were in grade school?
You can't prove I did.
Fair enough.
I
I worded that question to be specific to grade school in case like I ask a VTuber, oh well I'm in college right now. Oh, don't be telling me then.
Oh, well, in grade school, I can say no. Everything above that, you have no fucking proof.
What is this Chat GPT? I've never heard of it. No,
I mean, bro, I wish that shit was around when I was still studying.
yeah.
I would have saved myself so much goddamn time.
I mean, what would have been the point though? I mean, what would have been you spend all this freaking money and you don't get anything from the experience? I think that's crazy. Uh, the thing is that it's going to come down to the point where if they don't find a way around it, The only honest students are going to be the ones with C's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what they say, right? C's get degrees.
Fair enough. So, which do you prefer, chess or poker?
Mm, chess is too big brain for me. Poker, I can just. I've played poker a few times with my family, and they hate playing with me. Specifically, they hate playing with me and my dad. Because we were just my dad like plays chaotically to win.
Mm.
I play chaotically to fuck up other people.
Oh, that's the most fun though.
I know. It's like, I mean, I don't know. Like I'm losing what, like 10, 20, a maximum $30, and nobody else has a good time except for me. I think that's pretty fun.
I'm gonna go down, but I'm gonna take about three of you with me.
Yeah. By the time I leave the table because I'm bankrupt, you can tell who's winning because I just decided on a few targets and I was like, you are not going to have a good time because I just said so.
So, which do you prefer, a home cooked meal or a restaurant?
I think I prefer home cooked meals simply because then you can like adjust the dish to your specific palate.
Mm.
However, I do. The only reason that I would go to a restaurant is when I can't cook something by myself.
Mm.
Because it's expensive,
Or
or maybe that's just because I'm cheap as fuck. I don't know.
or it has an ingredient that you're never gonna find anywhere.
Yeah, that too. That too. You know, people that own restaurants, certain restaurants at least, they have their plug for ingredients and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which I do not have. So I pay them to pay their plug to eat their food.
So, if you had to eat something in your home right now, what would it be?
The chicken pot pie that's waiting for me in the freezer.
Nice.
I think, yeah, if not that, I guess the only thing I have is like raw eggs at my disposal. I didn't do groceries this week.
I mean, you can cook them, I guess, but if that's all you got,
Yeah,
or you,
might as well eat them raw, shell and all.
well, if you still suffer from a hangover tomorrow, that's a supposed hangover cure, isn't it?
Really? Like just the raw egg?
I once heard. I don't know where from though.
There's only one way for me to find out.
I do not endorse this behavior.
I do. I do. Come back. Come back. We'll compile our findings.
So, what's your favorite thing that you've ever made?
Mm, I'm sorry. If I had a
Take a
soundboard,
moment.
I would be playing elevator music at the moment.
I can always layer in the Jeopardy music on top of it.
Yay! Honestly, I was thinking maybe an emote that I made that I really really like that I use to this day,
Oh wow.
but I actually don't know. I like all the things. I feel like because I do definitely think that it's probably art
Hmm.
related something. Um, but I feel like I like everything that I make relatively pretty equally
Hmm.
because I usually don't make art unless I'm like mad sad or incredibly happy. You know, it is my job, which is kind of weird, but you know.
Mm.
Yeah, I think art. I like making art. I like the art that I make specifically for my friends.
Nice. So Here we go. What's the coolest place you ever found by accident?
I think it was a restaurant. Yeah, it was a restaurant. My friends and I were walking downtown, and then we tried like a shortcut that we never tried before because we knew downtown pretty well, but then we were like, oh, like somebody has to run some errands from one place to the other. You know how it is. You're a student. You gotta go from one shop to the other.
Yeah.
Gotta go print something and then go back another place and then go print another thing and then go back another place and then go print something else and then hand it in. No, yeah, I think that's how we were like lost trying to find our way to some place, and then we were like, damn, this is a new bar. And the bar was busting, it was good, it was cheap, and it was great until it closed.
Oh.
That's okay. Something else took its place and it's still a bar. Just not as good anymore, but it's still a bar.
As someone who doesn't know anything about alcohol, what makes a bar good?
I think there's a lot of factors. Personally, I go to a bar when the drinks and the atmosphere is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know there's this one bar that I go to pretty frequently. The drinks are incredible, but I forgive how noisy it is in there.
Mm-hmm.
But all bars are noisy, but this one was particularly bad because it's like in a basement and there's nothing on the walls to like
Mm-hmm.
help cushion the sounds. It's echoing everywhere.
Mm.
But the drinks are really good, so I keep going back. And then there's this other place. The drinks are shit, but the food's busted. So I go in. I don't order anything to drink. I just order shit to eat.
See, that's more my type of bar.
I mean, it's really funny because they know too. They have only like three signature cocktails, and everything else is just like beer or stuff like that. Like at this point, just don't say you're a bar. You're a restaurant, bro.
It's probably something to do with taxes. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. Or like licensing as well.
Hmm.
Is restaurant license and bar licenses are not the same.
Hmm. Okay, so you find $20 in the street. What do you buy with it?
Oh, I'd keep that shit forever. I
Save it.
think. Yeah, yeah. Like, okay, this is gonna sound weird. I have $30 that I found in an envelope set from 7 years ago.
So you don't put it in the bank. You just
No.
well let's not talk about where your money is.
I mean, I have a bank account and there's things in there. Haha. You cannot touch my physical money.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, it's like it was a blank envelope, and I knew that somebody had lost it, and there was nobody around to like looking for something or anything, but it was like at the top of the escalator, and it was just like an envelope like doing flips at the top of the escalator, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So I picked it up. And I was like, ooh, is it a love letter in there? I opened that bitch up and it's $30. And I'm like, oh,
Wow.
this is mine now.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, so I still have a dingy old white blank envelope with $30 in it from 7 years ago.
Oh boy. So, which is your favorite holiday and why?
Halloween. Halloween is my favorite because it is closest to my birthday. People
Oh.
would celebrate Halloween instead of my birthday. But yeah, that's why I like Halloween more. Plus, it's a bunch of spooky shit everywhere. I'm allowed to spill blood, fake blood, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope.
or ketchup. You could
Yeah.
you could never tell. I mean, and you will never know.
So, if you could wake up with one ability tomorrow, what would it be?
The ability to print more money.
Well, technically you have that ability today. It's just that you go to jail.
Oh, I something. Oh, wait, I got it. I want the ability to draw something perfectly the first time. To draw whatever comes up in my noggin perfectly the first time, the way I pictured it, the way I wanted it. I'd make so much money.
I just I just had like a mental image of like a TikTok style video where there's like an artist who painstakingly draws a $100 bill and then cuts it out and then goes to the store with it, and then the next shot is the police taking him away.
I mean, honestly, I can't even do that in my country because I live in Canada. We have monopoly plastic money. It don't work that way, unfortunately. I once heard a rumor that okay, this is completely unrelated, but it's related to money. I heard a rumor way back when that it was like, oh, if you scratch the new bills, you can smell maple syrup. That's what this little circle is for. And I'm like, ah, pog. So I started scratching it like the naive, gullible little idiot that I am. I started scratching it, brought that shit up to my nose. It smelled like that thing. You want to know what it smelled like? It smelled like microplastics. And then I got a pimple on my nose because of it. I will never forgive my friend.
Yummy, yummy microplastics.
It got stuck in my nose. And it gave me a pimple. I'll never forgive him. Never, ever.
We need like one of those 50s style PSAs. What would the world do without microplastics? So, what is the latest you ever stayed at a party?
Overnight. Yeah. I think if that counts. If not, the latest I've ever left a party is like a midnight.
No, overnight counts, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like because I came in early to help set it up and all that stuff. I just ended up sleeping over.
So it wasn't like a rager or anything. It was just like a party with friends or something.
Yeah, yeah. I was way too bullied to ever go to to be invited to a rager or something like that.
Oh, in college I went to one rager. I was under the impression it was going to be a quiet party with a few friends, and then I went there. I opened the door. There was standing room only. The music was deafening. I stood there, the dorkest that I am, with a 2-liter bottle of soda in my hands. I went into the kitchen. I placed it quietly there. I left the building. I didn't look back.
The people that invited you, did they question where you were? They were like, man, where you at?
They were already toasted. They were plastered. They were plastered to the wall and back.
Yeah, I think all the parties that I've ever went to have always been pretty low key or like private enough so that it never turned into something big like that. The only similar thing has been some events of some weddings of some of the young adults in my community.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, oh yeah, like I make big girl money, so it's an open bar, and then everybody gets smashed from my nephew to my uncle,
Is there a celebrity you'd travel to another place to meet?
There are many. But when you say celebrities, I'm thinking VTuber celebrities.
Those count, sure.
Yeah, I would if it's like an actual like. I'm not interested. I've never been interested in like actors or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, when it comes to celebrities that I would travel a great distance to go see, there are many because there are a lot of content creators that I look up to. And if they said, "Hey, buy a ticket for LA," I'd go, "Okay."
And can you name a couple?
I during the peak of COVID, I was watching Valkyrie pretty much on a daily basis. The good old Among Us days. Yeah, I was watching her a lot, and I still watch her pretty regularly. Um, any of my friends that live in that area as well, I would use collaborations as an excuse to buy a ticket to write off as a business expense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uh, do you collect anything?
Mm, no. However, when I first started doing nails,
Hmm.
like gel nails, it would be on like on a natural nail, and it's not like extended with acrylic or anything. After a while, like those things just peel off,
Hmm.
and I would collect those because I thought I could like keep them and like be like, oh, I remember this design with like a bunch of bejewels and all that shit. I wanted to keep it so that way if I wanted to reproduce it in the future I could, and then I have a reference. But then it just ended up being me filling like a Ziploc bag full of shit, full of peeled nails. And then my mother was like, "That's disgusting as fuck. What's wrong with you?"
So what I'm hearing is that you are the actual person who saved fingernails in a bag.
No, I saved part of my fingernails. I
that,
don't do it anymore. I don't do it
that,
anymore. But
don't worry, they're fake nails.
oh, but there'd still be like part of my natural nail on that because it's like it's resin stuck to your natural nail, right? So sometimes it like rips off a layer or something.
Hmm. Well, as long as it's not like hair in a bag, that's okay.
No, no, I'm pretty crazy and mentally Illinois, but I've never done that one.
Oh boy. And my final question: what smell reminds you of home?
Spice, pepper.
Pepper.
Yeah, I think this very specific like papaya salad reminds me of home a lot
Mm-hmm.
because there were how 2008 affected the world.
Yes.
So back in the day when we weren't able to get certain ingredients
Mm-hmm.
for food, we would just make papaya salad and rice, which we could have very easily like spent money on buying cheaper Western ingredients for
Mm-hmm.
cooking. But my parents are stubborn, so they were like, "No, my home, my kind of food." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever you say. You're the one paying taxes up in here."
So
Um,
is papaya like a cheaper kind of food to eat?
no, it's just that it be like cheap food for them
Hmm.
because it's like it's easy to make and all that stuff. But it still consists of like things that are relatively expensive or straight up impossible to find, right? Like
Hmm.
bird's eye chili pepper and like fish, a specific type of fish paste, a specific type of like like some specific type of oil or something like that. I think it
Hmm.
requires a specific type of papaya as well, but we would rather like eat food from home than like make food from here, if that makes any sense.
No, no, it makes sense. Yeah. So are your parents are they the type of people that really are interested in preserving the culture, that kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think I got them from them as well. We're Laotian, so we come from Laos, which is the country right next to Thailand, in
Hmm.
between Thailand and Vietnam.
Yeah.
And like actually, my entire VTube design is based off that as well because a naga is a mythical creature in our folklore, and every single aspect of my design is like kind of inspired off traditional clothing that I do personally own. So it's it's I got it from them to be proud of where I come from and to try to preserve like values and ideals and all that stuff, even though I don't agree with the things that are like more backwards, like gender.
Hmm.
What's the word I'm looking for here? Gender roles, gender that stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for coming out. I do appreciate this. This was a very nice interview.
Thank you. Thank you for actually is it cool? I'm really curious on how you found me because I saw your message and then I was like, "Oh, cool." And then I went to look into your profile and I was like, "We don't got no mutuals." How did you
Nope.
find me?
The way that I find most people actually is I do a search on Twitter and I just type in EN VTuber, and I look for the most recent people to respond, and I occasionally I'll send out messages to them.
Oh.
Yeah.
That surprises me cuz like I barely tag my stuff.
Well, you would have it in your name though, wouldn't you?
Do I?
Let me see.
Hold up. Let me go check real quick.
I'm curious now. I can no.
I do not. I have
Huh.
VT in my handle though. Maybe.
That might do it, or maybe you typed it out at some point, and that's what
Maybe.
showed up because I type it into Twitter. So if you type ENVTuber or hashtag ENVTuber, that would pop up.
Yeah, that could make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's more or less how I find people, and
Cause
yeah.
I was so curious. I was like, what? The algorithm worked? Question mark. Like, I got discovered.
Yeah, but I do my best to try and find a large section of VTubers, and I figure the best way that I can do that is more or less at random.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's worked very well for me so far. I've liked a lot of the people. The VTuber community is a really nice group of people.
Yeah. I definitely think that it's easy to find good people.
Hmm.
Um, it's as easy as it is to find bad people.
Yeah,
I feel like
it,
it's just harder to sift out the bad apples,
I
if that makes sense. Yeah.
I think that a lot of it is that most people are good and just generally want to get along, but we disproportionately see the bad people because whenever somebody does something bad, it is emphasized to us, and
Mm.
also the people who are more likely to do um, sketchy things have a tendency to be willing to climb their way to the top, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, because then it's like, oh, well, I have the power to sweep it under the rug type shit, right?
There's a lot of things you can do if you don't have many morals. But enough
That is
about that.
true. The same way that I can do so many things because I am free. There is no shame, and I am Kringe.
But anyway, speaking of speaking of I have nothing. I have no segue. You can find if you've been watching from the audience, thank you very much for joining us. You can find links to all of Nagi's socials, including Twitch and X, Twitter, in the description. Uh, Thank you very much for joining us. I have been Jack Jinseki, and joining me today was Nagi.
That's me. Yeah, babe.
Good night, everybody.